Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. I haven't done one in a while. I usually do them previewing Supercross quite often. But this year, I went to quite a bit of races, and I had a lot of fun. And I took more racing in instead of like just watching it on TV and just having my favorite riders and things. I took what a regular fan would enjoy pretty much, and I went and did that. So I went to Anaheim 1 last year. Great race, a lot of fun to watch. Man, exciting lap after lap after lap after lap. And then I went to Anaheim 2. I watched Deegan struggle in the races there, the futures race. He struggled pretty bad, actually. And I put out a couple videos last season, and I thought they were going to throw him on the East Coast, and then you started seeing a lot of videos, and so I was like, you know what? Before, I was like, I'm probably wrong. He might not show up to East Coast. I just figured his amateur career was pretty much over with how he did in the amateurs when it came to Loretta's not this last year, but the year before, obviously, and coming into East Coast, I just felt like he was ready. I'm not there. I'm not at the track, and I felt he was ready. So I said, it's good to go. And it's kind of from there on out. You saw what he did. He had a great season as a rookie. A lot of rookies do struggle. I didn't see any of those struggles as much as others, which is good. But this video is kind of going off of that. I think going into the 2024 season, it's going to be pretty freaking exciting. And I have my predictions as to where people are going to line up and race, and we'll see. It could change. We're October 22nd, so I'm doing this real early. Again, these are all my opinions. I like that Honda has two riders. They've got Chance Hymas and Joe Shimoda. I think Joe is going to be a title contender whichever coast he goes to, and as well as outdoor, and then SMX as well. Doesn't really matter what bike you put under a good rider. If you put a good rider on any bike, they're going to do well. Obviously, there's other things that are involved as well, but generally, good riders prevail. You saw Stewart switch bikes. You saw Dungey switch from Suzuki to KTM. Good riders usually prevail. I mean, look at Kenny. Got to win on the Suzuki. A lot of people didn't think that was going to happen. So I don't think bike has as much to do with it as rider. If the rider's comfortable, the bike, it doesn't matter what bike you put under him if he's going to be comfortable on that bike. So that being said, the changes kind of going into the 2024 Supercross season with the 250 class is what I'm going to go ahead and talk about right now. So Honda has Chance Hymas coming in, Joe Shimoda. Those are the two riders. I'd like to see them pick up two more riders. It would help grow the sport. Honda, when they had Geico, now see that's probably wise because they don't have Geico backing them, so that money's not there. But if Honda could go out and get some funding for their 250 class, maybe even their futures classes, get some riders, it would help push riders in and out. I'll get into that later. The 250 class, I'd really like to see them rotate the riders a lot quicker, a lot like the MX1, MX2 do overseas. They push them out really fast. I think they push them out too fast over there. I think over here it'd be like 24 would be the latest I'd want to see somebody in the 250 class. I think they're a veteran at that point in the 250 class at age 24. Let's go back to it though. So Kawasaki has Levi Kitchen coming over from Star Racing Yamaha to Kawasaki. Austin Forkner back. Austin Austin is a guy I'd like to see just move up into the 450 class. I know there's not a lot of rides there in the 450 class, so it kind of makes sense for him to be down there. But Austin missed his chance, in my opinion, for a successful 450 career because when he was in racing Sexton for that championship and he hurt his knee, he was dominant. He was the guy. He was the number one. And I think the fans and the radio guys got in his head a little bit, and all the media guys got in his head a little bit. You know, are you pushing too hard or whatever? Let the kid go ride. Let him ride. He's very talented. And now look at all the injuries he's got occurred because of it. And it might not be because of them. They might not be in his head. Maybe he's in his... I don't know. But Austin's a guy I'd like to see move up to the 450 class. They also bring in Seth Hamaker and Cameron McAdoo from last season. Seth came in strong, and Cameron ended on the injured reserve list pretty much. Husqvarna has Casey Cochran moving up and RJ Hampshire. Husky's another team I could see having 2 more riders. It'd be very nice. As of right now, they just have RJ and Casey that I know of. KTM has Tom Vial. I haven't heard of any other big names coming over to KTM. I do know that their futures rider, Julian Beaumer, has been talked about moving up, maybe East Coast all season. So he might run the one futures race kind of like what Deegan did last year, but for this year, and then be East Coast. Which I think the kid's ready. I mean, he showed he's pretty fast at the rounds that he was in. I know he didn't have the best showing in the mains, but he's pretty fast. And then we got the Star Racing Yamaha team. You got Hayden Deegan, Nate Thrasher, Styles Robertson, Jordan Smith. You have Daxton Bennett as well. He is on Husky, I believe, actually. So let's take him off. I misspoke that. Let's just go ahead and take this dude off. I'm pretty sure this dude's on Husky. I don't know how to say his name very well. Gillian Ferris. Pretty sure he's on Husqvarna. I did see something. I know he's not on Star Racing Yamaha anymore, so we'll take him off. And then they got Nick Romano too, as well. And then they have another rider coming up on their futures team too, which I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I guess he's been running up there with the other 250 guys. So, at the practice track and everything. And I know he went to the SMX and he raced the SMX, but he didn't do very well. I think he went down. Triumph Racing will be coming over to the 2024 Supercross season. It looks like they have Evan Ferry going to ride is what is in the mills. I haven't seen anything official on that for their futures. And then they'll have Jalik Swoll and Michael Moisman is what I've heard. I don't know how 100% that is, so don't scar me too much. This is October 22nd again, so I'm doing this pretty early. But yeah, Gas has Ryder D. Francesco. I like Ryder a lot. Ryder D is fast. I'm excited to see him move into this gas position. He becomes the rider there, in my opinion. Obviously, they only have two riders there, one East Coast and one West Coast. It's another team I'd like to see expand a little bit. Maybe get another title sponsor in there, so you're not just the gas Troy Lee Designs. I mean, that's kind of 2 title sponsors there, but whatever. Muckoff, FXR. You got Garrett Marchbanks and Enzo Lopes. I'm pretty sure that's all for the teams. I know Suzuki's got a little team. The riders there aren't necessarily going to go out and get wins. Not saying they won't, but as of right now, those are our main riders. I've got a little bit of who I think's going to race where. I think I did like a top 10 kind of thing. I think the 250 West Coast, you're going to have Chance Hymas around the 250 West Coast with Levi Kitchen, Seth Hamaker, RJ Hampshire. I think Tom Vial will be there. I also think Hayden Deegan will be there. Styles Robertson will join Hayden, and Nick Romano will join Hayden as well, as long as they're healthy. I think Michael Moisman, Pierce Brown, and Enzo Lopes will all end up racing the 250 West Coast title. And I think that the title is a battle between Deegan and Vial. RJ, obviously, he's good. He's a guy I'd like to see move out the class as well. Same with Jordan Smith. Move them to 450s. They're old. They're clogging rides that younger guys could be taking these rides and potentially moving on and up, you know. So my West Coast, again, I think Tom Vial, Hayden Deegan, and RJ Hampshire will be your top three. I think Levi has a chance to win a couple races there, but it'll be good. The East Coast, I have Joe Shimoda riding over there. I have Faulkner again riding over there. Cameron McAdoo. I have Casey Cochran running the one amateur and then bouncing up, just like what we saw last season of Hayden Deegan. Julian Beaumer, same thing. I think he's going to run the first amateur and then bump up. You have Nate Thrasher, Jordan Smith, Daxton Bennett, Jalik Swoll, Ryder D, and Garrett Marchbanks. For some reason, I don't know why I don't have Garrett on the 450 here. I just think that he's going to run the 250 again. So, for that class, I have Joe Shimoda and Austin Faulkner battling it out, and Ryder D probably finishing out the podium over there. Nate Thrasher had a good season, but I think those will be your top three guys, and I think Thrasher can go in there and mix it up as well. Same with Cameron. Cameron's been having a couple bad luck seasons, kind of, but that's kind of where I'm at with that. And I'd like to see at the end of the season Austin Faulkner, Joe Shimoda. Joe probably won't move up just because of his contract, but it'd be nice to see Joe move up, Austin move up, Jordan Smith move up. You got who else moving up? RJ moving up. I know they didn't really win titles, but that doesn't mean anything. You don't necessarily have to win the title to move up. It'd be nice to see more faces in the 450 class. That being said, I know they did a number change as well. And this is my opinion. I really think it'd be super cool to let, since the 1W and the 1E aren't going to be there. They're going to be on the 450s, and they're not going to be defending. That's Jet Lawrence's 1W, and that is Hunter Lawrence's 1 East. They're not going to be there defending. I think that the AMA should allow Hayden Deegan to run like a SMX green, that lime green, that the green look they have, background, and have the white numbers on there. So he'll still match the same number colors as everybody, but he'll have the number 1 and he'll have the green background. And that solidifies that he was the number 1 SMX guy, right? And then he'd be able to run that outdoor too as well, because again, you're not going to have the number 1 plate out there for motocross again, because, well, that guy moved up to the 450 class. And so if you're not going to have the number 1 out there, it'd be nice to have a number 1 out there, you know what I mean? And I think it'd be good for fans. I think it'd be good for the sport. You can run the green 1. No one else will have that. You know, everyone else will have the other route, the red background, if they're leading in points. So you could potentially have the red background, the green background, and the regular black backgrounds, right? Which would be fine. And then if he's leading in points, he doesn't have the lime green background anymore. It's a red background. Just like they would do it normally. But it'd be the number 1. And it'd have like an SMX on it, you know? Or maybe you make him run the 38 that he wants. If he has the red plate. I don't know. I think it'd be cool though just to unlock the number one plate. I also think that in the 450 class, if Chase doesn't line up to a Supercross race for some bad reason or other, I believe that Jet should have the 450 number one SMX green plate with the black numbers on it. I think it would look good out there. You can't have two number ones. I don't think that would be good for the sport. I think it'd be just a little more confusing, honestly. But if any rounds that Chase doesn't show up to, or if outdoor, if he wants to run the number one green to be different, I think it'd be cool to let him do it. He is the SMX champion. The SMX is Super Motocross Championship. It's to put the Supercross and the Motocross together, so it is all one series. I think it'd be good. I think it'd be good. Maybe, you got these guys running plates where it's like, it could say the number 1 SX, right? And then it could say the number 1 SMX on there. And then you could have the podium. I wouldn't go any further than the podium on the SMX. So if you finish second or third on SMX, you could run the 1, 2, or 3 SMX in the lime green with the proper colors of your number. If you wanted to run that, because you could say I was on podium of SMX points. I think that'd be super cool. It'd give a little bit different. You'd have a lot of the same numbers out there. If you had the number 1 plate out there of SX, and then you'd have the number 1 MX plate as well. So that's an idea. I think it'd be a really cool idea just to have the first part of what I said out there. If you wanted to open it up and make it a little bit more interesting. Yeah, I'm excited to see too. A1 press conference. I know that they're going to bring out the next 3 locations for the SMX finals, so I'm excited to see those. And yeah, that's it for my 250s little rant and number plate rant. I think though that it would be cool. I think having the number 1 out there is something that the 250 class has missed for quite a while, and it looks good out there. So lets everyone know who you got to beat. When you got no regular numbers out there, there's no like actual favorite. Unless you know the guys, like a lot of guys do know, but there's some people that I'll be sitting in the stands at races and they're like, who's that guy? And he's running second in the race, Who was the fastest? Who's this? Who's that? And it's like, that's Styles Robertson out there running in second. And they're like, who's Styles Robertson? They don't even know these guys. But if you put the names out there a little bit more, the number 1 plate, people are going to remember that. The SMX plate. A lot of people already know Hayden Deegan, so that's not going to help that situation. But Joe Shimoda or whoever finished second in the points could be number 2 SMX. And then people will be like, who's number 2 out there? And they're going to remember that the rest of the season if they didn't follow last season at all. If they don't already know. So that's all I really have for that rant right now. Let's move over to the 450 class. Oh, man. Some good things coming up. We're going to have on the Honda. So I have to update this because I don't have it fully updated. But you're going to have Jet Lawrence and Hunter Lawrence. So you're going to have the Lawrence brothers on the Supercross track at the same time on 450s. That's going to be fun. Gas, I think they should open their rig up to another bike and run another 450 next to Justin Barsha, but right now all they have is Justin Barsha. Star Racing Yamaha is going to have 3 in Supercross, and I'm guessing only 2 in outdoor. And that's Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, and Justin Cooper. I know that Webb and Cooper have full contracts, and Tomac is the one that's only riding Supercross, but that could change, especially with the SMX title. And the World Supercross thing's it looks like it's kind of faded away. I haven't seen much about it. Then you have Kawasaki. They've got Jason Anderson, Adam Cincerillo. Then Suzuki has Ken Roxon. I'm pretty sure they still have Chiz. I don't know if it was Chiz still or not, but Suzuki is there. It'd be nice to see them bring a full team back and run a full team. KTM is going to have Sexton and Plessinger. It'd be good to see if Marv comes back. I don't think he will. But it would be cool to have Marv come back. It's nice to have the names there. I like having a lot of riders. I don't like having it to where you're asking who these guys are and they're not on factory rides. It's cool to see non-factory ride guys get in there. But the problem that keeps rising up is that these non-factory guys, they're already not factory, and everybody's contracts are like 2-3 years. So like, who was it that rode Great Outdoor? Oh, I can't think of his name, and I don't understand why I can't either. Anyways, he was on a Cowie 81. Why I can't everything else? Either way, he rode so good, and he was a bike failure away from riding even better. Pretty sure he had a couple bike failures. I mean, he's running his own bike pretty much, and stock parts, and he's up there with the factory guys. And he doesn't have a factory ride this year. And so that's what bothers me. I can't even think of his name, and that's the terrible part, because he deserves every little bit of it being said. And he deserves a factory ride. He deserves Suzuki to say, hey, we want you to ride on our bike. Or he deserves Gas to open up and say, hey, you rode well enough last year, we're going to put you to a ride. You know? It's just, there's so many teams out there. And I'd say there's a lot of riders out there that aren't on teams. I mean, I don't even know if Dylan Francis is going to have a ride. And Dylan had a hard time with this guy last year, too. It's going to bother me. Ty Masterpool. Bang. Finally. Ty deserves a factory ride. After what he did, when he was on Star Racing and pulled the holy and pointed to the sky for his brother, he has it. And then he went out and showed you on the 450 that he has it. He deserves a factory ride. Where's his ride at? Why isn't Gas pulled the checkbook out and signed him? Get him a ride. You don't have to pay him as much as Justin Barsha. You don't have to pay him as much as those guys. But get him on a factory bike. You might want to pay him. You don't know what he can do. The kid's heart is amazing. He was riding so well. You put him on factory material with a factory mechanic, you might have a factory problem. He could be really good. He showed he could ride the Yamaha really well. Again, flashes, and I know he's had just flashes, but last year he proved almost all year long that he was there. He was there. And I know a lot of riders were missing, and they were just coming back from injury, but he was there. He was beating Dylan Ferrandis. He was running top 3. If that doesn't say, and I don't care that Tomac's not there. You had Jet there. You had guys there. Like, it wasn't that you didn't have anybody there. You had riders there. He was just riding that good. Give him a ride. Make a ride happen. It's possible. 100% it's possible. Definitely possible. You got a lot of different rides out there that can open up. And the fact that they're not is just crazy. It's crazy. Gas has an open spot. Triumph has open spots because they don't have the 450 going yet. So let him test and tune it. You know, let him go out there and ride on his equipment, but sign him to a contract so he can test and tune in the off during the weeks or whatever. Get it ready to go for the next season. Gas has an open bike. You could say Kawasaki has an open bike. Anytime someone gets injured, throw them on it. Suzuki's got an open bike. KTM had a Suzuki-only program with Marv. If he doesn't ride it, let the man roll. Let's go. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating. We need more teams in the paddocks. We need more. I mean, guys like McElrath aren't getting rides. Savachi, they're not getting rides. These are past race winners in the 250 class that were fast. Guys that were battling for championships left and right. You telling me only champions are going to be getting rides up at the top is nuts to me. It can't be. And we're missing guys that have left the sport. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get too far into it. We got to start getting other title sponsors in here. We got to start branching out. You know, I think we might see something along the lines of what Chad Reed did when he was coming out, and what Carmichael did after he left with RCH Suzuki. When you have Hayden Deegan in the 450 class, and no one wants to give him a ride after he's like 26 and won a few championships or whatever, and they're saying he's done or something ridiculous. He's going to be the type of kid that's got the money to go open his own team and maintain something like that. Hopefully, we'll see. Got to get more sponsorships in. We got Monster, we've got Rockstar, we got all the energy drinks. You know, it could be the Bang Gas, you know, or Gas Bang energy drink with the other three. You know, whatever. Get a water company. Get more companies involved. You know, we used to have cell phone companies involved, Boost Mobile and all those. Let's get some more companies outside the realm of the sport currently and get them involved. You know, we need more of it. 100%. I'm excited this year. We got a lot of guys coming back to bikes. Barsha re-signed. Anderson's on the Cowie. AC on the Cowie. Dylan, we don't know where he's going to ride. Hopefully he gets a ride. I don't want to see him retire early when he's still hungry and he still wants it. You got Jet and Hunter moving up, which is nice. That's going to be good for the sport. We do have a lot of older guys in the sport right now. Justin Cooper also moving up too, so that's going to be good for the sport. But yeah, that's kind of my rant and rave. Let's see those SMX 1, 2, and 3 number plates out there with the lime green back and the black number plates or the black numbers on the 450 and the white numbers on the 250. Let's see these guys out there. It's a full series. Let's treat it like one. I'll be probably starting a podcast here soon too. Won't be just about dirt bikes though. It'll be about all kinds of sports, just because my friends aren't just into dirt bikes, and they're into dirt bikes too, so we'll definitely argue and talk about that and debate and do all that fun stuff. But we will also do NBA and NFL as well. Something we all like. But Supercross will be something that I always bring up, and we'll always have a topic on there. So, until next time.